Good morning. Welcome to the Smart Life Club. This is a coffee break show. I'm Vicki Helm, and today is Thursday. We had such a great time yesterday. If you weren't on the show yesterday, the replay is in there. We were with Dr. Joe Vitale. Really awesome time. Such incredible information from the man. The movie, The Star of the Secret, and just so many things there. We had a great time. And today we're equally going to have a great time. We are going to talk about what you can do in this new normal. Good morning, everyone coming on. If you're here for the first time, do me a favor, put your name down below so I can get to know you and we can talk and have fun and we can have some time together. And if you're watching this afterwards, do me a favor, put hashtag replay below there. If you're on YouTube, welcome to YouTube Live. We go live Monday through Friday. And we have coffee together. We talk about inspiration, motivation. We share tips, techniques, and tools from everybody in there. We have a great conversation and we help each other thrive. We lift each other up. And so, it's Thursday. Good morning, Donald. Good morning, Robin. I see you guys all popping in. So do me a favor and say hello and put your name up there today. I noticed last night that I was thinking to myself, man, I miss my hairdresser. I mean, the sides of my hair, it's getting so long, it's getting so long. And I'm not a person who colors my hair because I don't know. I'm okay with the salt and pepper. It's okay with me. But man, I wish I could go see her and she could give me a good shave. Good morning, Stephen. Nice to see you. I know you're back uptown in PA and I'm glad you're there. And I hope you and your wife are doing well. So today I want to talk about something I think is really important, and that's, what you can do in this new normal. And so the president thought he was going to be able to let us out by April 11th, and that's obviously not going to happen. They're right now till April 30th, and possibly, I've heard, even till June. And I was thinking, okay, what can you do in this normal? What in this new normal? What is happening in the world? And I looked yesterday night on Facebook. And good morning, Peter. Nice to see you. Good morning, Mary France. If you're there, Peter's there, you're there somewhere. And I noticed, good morning, Lori. Hi, Vicki. You should have Robin cut your hair. No. One of the things that is Robin's skill set is probably not cutting a hair. Otherwise, I'd have that bowl haircut, just stay there and let me cut around. And that just wouldn't be there. So I'm going to manage with this until we can safely go see a hairdresser and somebody that could, spruce it up a little bit. It is getting a little long. And so last night I was looking on Facebook and it was interesting. All these entertainers, all of these people come out of the woodwork and they're going Facebook Live. And they're talking and sharing or doing a music. Like the other day, I watched Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman. I don't know if the rest of you watched it. They did a studio live from their own home. And Keith was playing all his guitar hits by himself, just there he had a kind of a backup guy that did something. And Nicole, she was so cute. She just danced around the studio. And, last night, Marianne Williamson delivers a message most every night. There are people singing, there are people dancing, there are people doing stuff in this new normal to help us be entertained, feel connected, know we're not alone. And I think to myself, what more can we do? What message can we bring? Can we check on people? Can we talk on Zoom? I have a friend of mine who just had a family sing-along on Zoom, and she's got over 100 family members, over 100. I mean, could you imagine the Christmas present bill? There's there's 100 people, but they meet online and they just had a sing-along together. There are things that we can do to help us thrive through this. We planted some garden stuff and we are writing books and we have surprises coming. We have surprises that are coming. And what is it that you're going to do to help someone else without making it about you or what you do or what your product is or what can you do just to be out there making a difference in the world, because you can make a difference in the world. Now, if you can't make a difference in the world without trying to sell somebody something, without trying to, here's my product, here's my service, here's who I am, join me, get me, buy from me, that's business. That is not connection. It's business. And what we want to have is some heart to heart, some communication, some actual interaction with each other. And that is a huge thing right now. People need authenticity and love. And I just want to go back over here and say good morning. Lori's there. Good morning to everyone. Good morning from Karen. Hey, good morning, my friend. Hi, Peter and Mary France. Good morning. So much talent out there, said Robin. Yes, there is. There's so much talent. The kids are amazing. No, although I've been thinking about coloring my hair soon, only my hairdresser knows for sure. That's right, man. I'm telling you. Yes, so true. We need to connect with people around the world. We do, but we need to connect in an authentic way without an agenda. Just connection, just for love, just for fun, just like, there's just absolute connection. Stephen, he says, please understand, as I tell my wife, our heart, compassion, and love is more important than our hair. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Vicki, in is your words and not your hair. That's what we listen to. Thank you. That's right. It's my words and not my hair. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. That's what that's what's to me, why they listen to me. And I appreciate your show. Keep writing. Thank you. Welcome home, Stephen and Judy. Yes, you couldn't stop her writing if you tried, Stephen. Now just a cotton picking minute. That's true. I want to let you know that while we're sitting down and having a conversation and we're talking about things to come, I want to talk about something a little serious, and that is the new normal. The new normal that is coming up for us right now. The longer this is going on, the more shifts in the economy and things are going to happen. And you have to get real about the length of time that this has been going on and the concerns that I have. If you have gone to my Facebook page, you'll notice that I have concerns for our medical professionals, not just simply because we have a son-in-law who is a medical professional and that we love him and he's taking risks doing this, but we want to be able to protect our nurses and our doctors, and they're not being protected. They are not being allowed to wear masks into rooms with people who are COVID ready. And there are people out there literally sewing masks for these healthcare workers. And sometimes they're denied. They can't even wear them. Even if they bring their own mask, they can't wear them at work. And the rippling effect of that, the rippling effect of these measures that hospitals and I want to call out Kaiser Permanente, that they're doing to our medical professionals is thoughtless, and it's dangerous, and it is absolutely something that is endangering every employee they have. It's ridiculous that you're doing that. And so if you get a point where you can make a mask or you can do something, the best thing we can do for them is to realistically stay home so that we can bend that curve, the amount of people that are going to the hospital all at once. There's two rumors going around. One is, where are the people? Where are they at the hospital? And then there are places that are jam-packed. And then there's the difficulty of discerning what's happening in the world, because there's videos showing, look, this is the same video that was in Italy and the same video now that's in America. And people are saying this pandemic doesn't exist. And they're out and about. Then there are those people that know this pandemic exists. So I want to be stellar and upfront with you. I have a lot of friends and some relatives who have COVID right now, and it's real for them. It's very, very real. And so the the thinking, the two sides of these thought things, if we could just take a moment and say, even if I'm wrong, it's okay to spend a few days with my family and just stay home. Just stay in your place because it's confusing. I don't know which is true. My guess is I think the pandemic's true. I think that it's all over the world. I think it's very contractible, very fast. I know that a lot of people live from it, but a lot of people die from it. And I don't think it's very, it's harder on older people, but I've seen some young people where it is very hard on, and they're on, in comas, in ICU units. I think this is a serious thing that's happening in the world. I do not think it is something to be taken lightly. That's just my opinion with it. I think the aftermath is going to be tough as well. I think the aftermath is going to be that some of the things that we usually have at our fingertips, we're not going to have at our fingertips. And if they are at our fingertips, I think they're going to cost a little bit more, way more than we imagine. And I think after we get through this wave, and this wave, mind you, started in December of last year. The pandemic wave started in December of last year. Not, it just hit the United States. It started here. And it's December, January, February, March, April, that all of our supply chains have been disrupted. That's about 4 months now that we have been looking at the slowing of this pandemic. And there's going to be repercussions of that. And that means there's going to be a new normal. And that new normal may be that we don't have things at our fingertips anytime we want them, where we want them, how we want them, etc. And so to me, I'm like trying to figure out in my head, what can I do right now? What can I do right now to help make it easier for what's going to happen or how it's going to unfold? How can I help myself? And we have to be thinking about that right now, you and yours. I want to hit Facebook user, which I think could be Ryan. I'm not sure. It could be Susan as well. But this person says, develop an EQ, which is emotional quotient dialogue, and change the management series for employers. But I'm concerned about how best to share this info to not appear as a sales versus service. Yes. I could imagine that would be, I'm not sure how to do that, make it sales versus service. Peter says, I believe that a small group of people online, friendshipping and connecting can change the world. I love this quote. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed people can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Margaret Reed, yes, and I love that one as well. I do too. And I think we're going to have to find these small groups of people. There are going to be small groups of people, local community. Good morning, Barb. Nice to see you. She says, good morning, everyone. I'm predicting the trickle-down impact of the pandemic is going to last much longer than my lifetime. I'm going to agree with that. That's really, I want to say this, Barb, that was the bravest statement I've heard anyone make, and you made it beautifully. That doesn't depress me, but rather inspires me to keep rolling, doing my part in making a positive difference wherever and whenever called upon. Barb, that's the absolute core message of today, isn't it? Right now. And I want to read it again. Because Scott knows that pancakes in the morning make everything better. They do. Barb says, good morning, everyone. I'm predicting the trickle-down impact from the pandemic is going to last much longer than my lifetime. And I agree with that. I think it's going to last much longer than my lifetime as well. That doesn't depress me. Doesn't depress me either. But rather inspires me too. And it keeps to keep rolling, doing my part in making a positive difference wherever and whenever called upon. It's like my little town right now. We're up here, way up in the mountains. We're already putting in community gardens, and people are already talking about how we can go ahead and support each other. And, that is such an important thing. People think that everyone is going to feel the effects of what's happening right now. Robin says, I believe that's true, Barbara. I believe you'll do exactly that. And I agree. The question is, what ideas can we roll around? Not everybody is going to have the ease that they've had before. And some people are going to hang on to their one business and say, this business is the one to have and the one to hang on to and the one to do. And I'm going to say that I think a lot of people are going to need more than one source of income. And I really want somebody to hear that. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are. I don't know what you need to do. I'm going to tell you that if you're waiting for help, it's not going to come like it usually comes. We need to do right now what we can do. I see somebody who said, hi, Vicki Helm. Nice to see you. But it says Facebook user. So somebody tell me who's that. I don't know if it's Ryan or Susan or something. But right now, what we can do is take advantage of this moment in time. And, you know, your mind is going to determine how it comes in. And you want to have more than one stream of income. And I mean, hey, Furley, nice to see you, my friend. You want to have more than one stream of income coming in. You want to have some sort of ability to create assets. So I'm going to tell you today, I posted my new book in the Smart Life Club. And right there's the white version. I didn't like the cover, so I changed it. And then I put the new cover in because I like it. But I want to tell you, the issue in the future is going to be that even if money comes, it's going to be coming slowly. And sometimes money isn't going to look like greenbacks. Sometimes money is going to look differently. And we talked with Dr. Joe Vitale yesterday. We had that money, love, speed. And those speed of those ideas has to be now. And I believe that we might see the barter coming back, that barter thing. And you might have, you know, something that you have to actually think about, because the gig economy, it's like Uber and Lyft, they're pretty solid right now. They're like, hi, we're not taking anybody because we don't want a person to get our driver sick. So what happens? What can you do? What can you, thank you, Peter. Peter says, I can't wait to get your new book. It's on Amazon, you guys. Just type Vicki Helm, the books will come up. You can buy it. I suggest everyone read it though, because it's the ability to build cash flows, the ability to have more than one income. It's the self-reliant on one thing. That's like saying, hey, in my garden, I'm going to plant corn and only corn. That's it. We'll just plant corn and all we're going to eat is corn. And that's what we're going to have. And relying on your entire diet to just be corn. And so right now you have to see your income like a garden. Here's my lettuce. Here's my tomatoes. Here's my zucchini. Here's my pumpkins. Here's my corn. And to have some more than one sort of thing. You can do that online. You can do that without depending on one source of income. And I think that's going to be the battle to the future. When you're depending on one source of income and trying to force it to work instead of having two or three with you. And, you know, don't go crazy. It's like the average millionaire has 7 sources of income, 7. And I'm like, hi, can you guys get 2? And a source of income, if both of you say, well, we have 2 incomes, we have a job. No, that's still corn. You've planted one row of corn and another row of corn, a job. So how can you have something else there that is going to bring you income in right now? Because the future is going to be about those small online, offline, bartering businesses. It's going to be small manufacturing. It's going to be micro businesses from home, more than one micro business. So we have to think about how can we create those micro businesses? Barb says, and some people are going to have it easier and better than ever before. That's true. Like farmers, they're going to be better than ever before. Those are the ones who are embracing change and pivoting their thoughts and actions accordingly. And I want to say that again, Barb, these are gems you you are dropping the gems today. And some people are going to have it easier and better than ever before. Those are the ones who are embracing change. You have to embrace the change right now. It's the new normal and it's already here. And you know, you're kind of ahead of the game. You'll be ahead of the game. Those are the ones who are embracing change and pivoting their thoughts and actions accordingly. And I want to say right now, that's the drop, the bomb right there. That's the drop. That's where it needs to happen. Your thoughts and your actions accordingly. So, you know, this is so important because somebody, I think it's probably Furley, said barter is wonderful. Yes. And barter is definitely stepping into the forefront again, said Barb. I don't think farmers and ranchers ever stop that. You know what? That's true. They haven't. They live that. Key in on collaboration in bartering. Now, that's the thing I want to talk about. I collaborate and do strategic alliances with people, and it has fed me for years and very well. And that is coming back. The ability to collaborate, the ability to do joint ventures, the ability to have strategic alliances. That's the future. That's something that that one skill set needs to be mastered. And it has to be mastered with some clarity and some dignity. And that is that you have to think about what you're bringing to that joint venture. You have to think about what you're willing to do for that joint venture. And the issue with joint ventures is that people often think that if they get the biggest part of the joint venture, if they get the easiest, biggest part of the joint venture, then the joint venture is fair. And it's their thinking and their attitude towards how they do it. That thing Barb said, the thinking and the attitude about how you're growing or doing something, that is going to be fiercely good in the future. And if you're good at that, then you will find people wanting to work with you so much. Furley says this reinforces what we spoke about, that embracing our many talents and skills, putting them all to work. That's right. You have more than one skill. We need to stop saying, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I'm an Indian chief, because you cut off everything else. You cut off everything about you that is serviceable to other people. You have other gifts. So when we're moving forward, look at yourself and all of your talents, not some of them. Thanks, Furley. That's really important. Lori says, yes, being resistant to change at this point in time will only lead to depression and insanity. That's right. If you're unwilling to change, you're going to suffer. You want to unhook your, attachments to how things were and ask yourself, what's here now? What is here now? I love the barter system. It always feels more equitable. I agree. It can feel more equitable. Whoa, so true. And bartering completely avoids the banks and taxes. Yes, that's true. Bartering completely avoids the banks and taxes. That's so true. Would love to collaborate with you. Thank you. I have right now 4 collaborations, and I cannot take on another one until I finish the 4. And then, we can talk about that. But I have business partners that I love so much. I don't want to move from what I'm doing. And I just want to take those 4 things and get all 4 of them where I want them to be, because I think they're world changers right now. And I really want to focus on doing that. But thank you for the offer. That would just, one day we'll do that. That's great too. That's great. Oh, by the way, when you're looking at collaborating right now, you really want to start figuring it out now. You want to figure out who you're collaborating with, how you're collaborating with, what you're making, who it serves, how long it can serve, how easy they are to work with. Because you know what? It's like I have collaborative partners right now that are so good. I would be like, okay, what's our next project? If you have 4 good collaborations, and you just take those 4 collaborations and you continually grow and build and work on those things over and over and over and over and over again, and you'll find yourself having tons of income coming in. You'll find yourself being able to put more than one product with them, and everybody works together for the betterment. You know how you can have a community garden in your city and town? You can have a digital community garden where you're producing and everybody is sharing in the whole of the goods. And you want to do that now. Don't let yourself pass these opportunities by. We have to think differently. Who are your online partners? Who are they? And if you can't answer it, or you've got, well, maybe one or kind of this, or then you need online partners. And you want to develop the relationships right now, because as time becomes a little tumultuous as we move forward, you want to have a working relationship already that is building something that is the narrative of the future. The narrative of the future. And that means whatever you're creating together, it can't be you're hoping to secretly get all your needs met. We have to do this fairly. And that means that everything you do has to be mutually beneficial together. If it's like, I hope by this, and there can't be, hi, I'm suspicious of this person, they're probably trying to screw me over. Why would you pick a team like that? Pick people carefully and say, I'm going to work with these people long term. How on earth can I make a positive team that I don't need to be suspicious of, that I know has the same heart and mind and intention I do? You have to be careful of who you work with. Good morning, Donnie. Donnie says, reaching out to people on a daily basis and just checking in on them. Be in the moment, strive to be present and grounded. In that, our state of inner peace has impact on others. Yes, others around us. That's so true. It is in that silence we can all discover our new selves. Do you understand that? You can't be your old self right now. And Donnie, I want to stop and make that here. When I say it's the new normal, you have to meet the new you. You aren't the person who's there before this. So let's see, in our state of inner peace has an impact on others around us. It is in that silence that we can all discover our new selves, new creations, and ideas will present themselves. That's right. Listen in. Envision this as a contraction. And as we pass through, there'll be a great expansion, and that is you. Who are you? Who are you? And if you're holding on to this over here and hoping that it's your future, sorry, it's not going to be. And that was very potent, Donald. Thank you. Hey, Dee Dee, nice to see you on, my love. Hello and good morning. We call it bartering, but we ask for help and kindness, and people give us what we need, and we give back to them in thanks. This is generosity and creates good fortune. I want to talk about that a second. Thank you, Dee Dee. This is so important because we see bartering as an eye for an eye. You give me this, yeah, I'll give you that. It's something different. It's a new type of mindfulness, awareness, or opening hearts. And this is beautiful between what Donnie said and what Dee Dee said. We call it bartering. But we ask for help and kindness, and people give us what we need, and we give back to them in thanks. This is not maybe not bartering, but what if it was generosity and created good fortune? What if we saw things instead of bartering as swapping? Is this good enough? Well, I think this is good enough. What if we saw it as being generous and creating good fortune? That is extraordinary. And here's the thing. It's like in this silence, we can all discover our new selves, our new creations, and new ideas will present themselves. What if it's not bartering? What if it is creating generosity and good fortune? You two, that was so beautiful. It was so amazing what you said. That is the future right there. It's mutually beneficial. It's a win-win. And maybe sometimes when the barter happens, it's like, you need this right now, and we'll figure it out later. Something I'll need later, and you'll give that to me. That's generosity. And what if we could put down that voice in your head that's like, well, you didn't get anything, or you're not blah, 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 whatever it's saying. What if you got rid of it and said generosity? Thank you, Dee Dee. That was great. Robin says mutually beneficial. I think it's Furley right now says integrity and alignment of values are crucial. Yes. In order to hit generosity, your integrity and your alignment of values have to be there for the future. Now, I want to say this. I believe what Donald said, what Dee Dee said, what Furley just said is possible. I think it is possible, and it starts with your small community. That's your little bitty tribe. And the only way that somebody enters into the little bitty tribe is if they're naturally like that. Do they have integrity and values? Is there generosity and saying, you know what, I'm going to go help your farm today, and then we'll go help my farm, and then we'll go work that way? How is it that we can express that type of generosity in the future and create a community that is that awake? That would just be beautiful. Karen says, excellent point, Scott. Barb, in my opinion, as long as the bartering and collaboration is not intended to avoid taxes, but intended to maximize talents and use talents instead of cash. Wow, that's powerful, isn't it? Using the talents instead of cash. And you have to be able to identify talents, because what you think are talents in your head are nothing more than what you were taught at school, etc. Talents can be tangible and intangible. They can be work or entertainment. Like somebody's talent, let me tell you, after a hard day's work and you're playing guitar and singing along, if that's the talent that's brought to the community, it is as valuable as a person who knows how to fix the fence. And so those things in your mind, having those things, vastly looking at talent in a holistic kind of way. So Scott says, hey, good morning, Scott. Nice to see you. He says, I encourage bartering simply because in the near future, the old monetary system will not be there to support us nor facilitate exchange. Agreed. The banks have met their match with the unsustainable load of bad debt and an imploding economy that can now never pay it off. I agree with that too. A new medium of exchange will emerge from this tumultuous yet exciting time of change. And he's like, hashtag Bitcoin. I got to be honest, I really agree with that, Scott. I think that we're doing bartering right now and encouraging it in the near future. The old monetary system is going to go through some bumps in the road, and bartering will facilitate change for us. But the banks have met their match with the unsustainable load of bad debt and an imploding economy that now can never pay it off. A new medium of exchange must emerge. It's not even will emerge. It must emerge from this tumultuous yet exciting time of change. That's Bitcoin. I want to let you know I think there's also going to be other exchanges of money coming in. Furley, Karen said, hashtag truth, integrity, and alignment of values is critical in all personnel and business transaction. I don't know if Christine is there with you, but I just want to say hi. Let's see, Robin, give and receive, a full circle, sometimes giving without receiving in the moment, but paying forward. You know, I learned this from Christine Comerford, and I want to repeat it. And if you don't know who Christine Comerford was, she was a business coach of mine and a consultant. She's just really fantastic. But she said one time, she said, the universe has a perfect accounting system. The universe has a perfect accounting system, and it knows when generosity from you has been given. And you won't know when, or you don't know why, you don't know where, but when you need it, that perfect accounting system comes into play, and something will just show up for you too. Generosity and barter together create trust. It creates this expansion of your heart and mind, and a new way, a new person is being developed here. This is a time where greed, I think, is dying. And we always think that greed is in the 1%, but that's not true. Greed is in the 100%. And when we remove our greed and we remove it and replace it with something else, I believe that Don Gifford is right. We are creating a new people, a new community, a new mindset, a new world is going to evolve from this. Donnie says, I've rediscovered my ability for baking bread, rolls, biscuits, and I'm preparing to awaken a very old sourdough starter that comes from France. And I even wear my apron like Grandma Naomi did. Oh, that's sweet. That, and he's my neighbor. So yeah, we got bread. I love your attitude, Furley. Me too. I do enjoy your attitudes. Karen says, Scott, I agree that the old monetary system is working the ways. Yesterday, Joe Vitale discussed that money is neutral. See yesterday's live. It will knock your socks off. But regardless of money, talent and time have always been more valuable than money. Yes, that's how money has been created. Talent and time. Value, talent, or time. There's the only three ways that money shows up. And so in that time, the future is going to be something that you have to really calculate and see how you can create mutually beneficial strategies together, communities together, and work together. And right now, that's really hard when you're on lockdown, isn't it? But there's always Zoom, there's always Skype, there's always Facebook. There's so much you can do. Don't let you think that well, I'm stuck at home. There's nowhere I can do and nothing I can do. And what am I going to do? The question is, what are you going to do? You're going to take an action. And if that action means to be silent for a bit so that the universe can tell you what your next step is, is a great time for that. I do believe that checking in on people is going to be a good business very soon. And you're thinking to yourself, what do you mean checking in on people? I think there is going to be a business wave where coaching is going to be more of a helping and talking people through things and talking online to them and talking to them just so they're not lonely. We don't know how long this is. This is the first wave of this pandemic. We don't know what the second or third wave is going to do. And hopefully it doesn't come back, but we aren't prepared right now for it not to come back or not to stop. People will and only can use what they already have. Money's just stored, saved up, work/time. Do you hear that? That's from Scott. That is so powerful. People will and only can use what they already have. Money's just stored, saved up work time. That's so true. That's all it is. The universe has a perfect accounting system. Thank you, Robin. Karen says, Donald, one of the values of isolation and the new normal has allowed us to slow down and return to what is really important. P.S. Send bread to PA. Okay, you guys, it's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Take the day and just ask yourself, where is another income source other than the one you have? It's like your one income source that's like walking on rice paper right now. You need 2 to 3. I have 4. The average millionaire has 7. So I want you to think about it. Securing your one income structure is not safe for the future. You can go to Vicki Helm on Amazon and get your Cash Flow Secrets book. And that is going to help you develop some ideas for money in the future. All right, peace out. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah! I love you guys. Bye.